I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address.
We're not just building muscle, we're building men. In the quiet hours, in the unfiltered moments, in the conversations that happen before the world wakes up. This is the Gloom, where brotherhood forms in the dark so we can lead in the light, where vulnerability is strength and leadership is handed from man to man, one story at a time. Our mission is to empower, exhort, and inspire men to achieve their best selves through stories of reinvigorated male community leadership. We bring you weekly interviews with F3 Omaha PACs, ordinary men doing extraordinary things in fitness, fellowship, faith, and leadership, because we believe that every man has a story, and reinvigoration starts when that story is shared. This is the Glue in the Gloom. Yo, Gloom listeners, it's the Plague, and today I'm talking about getting your finances as fit as your physique. Our very own F3 Omaha brother Jean-Claude, aka Michael Pfluger at Avior Wealth Management, specializes in building personalized financial plans. He understands the journey you walk in life as a man of faith, safeguarding your family and creating a legacy. Jean-Claude is ready to help you plan your finances with intention so that you can live with purpose. And that's just the beginning when you work with the Avior Wealth team. Visit avior.com/F3. That's AVIOR.com/F3 and see how Michael can guide your financial journey today. Shout out to our sponsors, Exclusively Eye Care, Major Team Mortgage, Liberty Core Real Estate, Avior Wealth Management, and Omaha Laser Dentistry. We appreciate their support. Now let's get back to the Gloom. And we're live. We're doing it live. This is, I don't know, maybe the fourth interview or so that we've done in person, and excited
Awesome.
to get this guy in person. I was able to get together and get you out here. So this is Low Flow. Clearly, if you're watching, you can see him. So when I think about Low Flow, we were actually in homeroom together in high school, which at the time I think was maybe where like homeroom was just the buffer between like actual class, so you could show up late and maybe be
Right. It was more, you would check in, make sure you were at school from 8 to 8:15, and then you went about your day.
maybe some intramural volleyball, or that's,
Yeah, we did a couple fun things, but that's all a blur to me.
Yeah.
But I do remember, and we were just talking about it in our homeroom, we had German teacher, Frau Stoltenberg.
Yeah, she was great.
And I didn't think, my senior year, I didn't think she cared. I'd come in at 8:10, 8:05, 8:10, 8:13, like, hey, checking in, going to class. Well, I think it was like April. It's coming down to graduation. And I get called up to the dean's office.
Oh, no.
And I had an ungodly amount of tardies.
So she was keeping track.
100%.
Just wasn't.
Had no idea. So, and the dean right now, Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him. So he was our football coach, one of our football coaches.
Yeah.
And so he's looking at this and looking at me. He's like, I tell you what, just do a day of in-school suspension and we'll wash this. I was like, that's fine. And he says, and then he goes, this is the best part about the story. One more thing. He's like, you have over $200 and some odd worth of parking tickets. So I was late, right? So I'd come in and park illegally, get a ticket. Well, after a while, I'd put the same ticket. Yeah. So I got away with it for a while. Then one day I had like 3 tickets. Yeah. One for a new ticket, one for impersonating a ticket, and then the old ticket, of course. So it was great. But so we had like $200 some odd worth of tickets, and he looks at me again. He goes, I tell you what, how much money do you have in your wallet? And I opened it up. And like, no idea at this time, And I had $5. He's like, perfect. Well,
all in a deal.
Yeah, for $5.
Is that
Mr. Kaufman.
All because you were on the football team, you think, or?
I don't know. I probably just didn't want to deal with it.
Right.
It's April, school year's wrapping up. I'm an idiot. So he's just get out of here.
That's awesome. Well, I love it. It's been cool to reconnect through F3. And awesome. Obviously, as we're doing this podcast, we bring guys on that just led a site. So you were obviously a site Q at Catamount, right?
Yes.
One of the Fine Tuesday sites across the region.
Best turf in Bellevue.
Yeah. And I was telling somebody this morning, trying to explain, I think we say Bernadette is Shirley's older, angrier sister when it comes to like hills.
Yes.
Oh, is that how? I don't know.
They're definitely sisters. Bernadette's a little shorter though, I think.
Oh, is she?
But a little meaner.
Yeah.
So the grade on it's a little bit steeper. It's a burn that pre-run where you're coming down the hill is not so bad, and then you hit Bernadette and your heart rate's at 180, and you're trying to make it down the hill.
Well, we were at Woodshed, and we were talking about, somebody's like, "Oh, I thought we'd run Shirley today." I was like, "Oh no, but if you like Shirley, you should go check out Bernadette." So
go right ahead.
So with this, where we like to kind of start off just your EH story. I don't know if I know who got you.
So it's kind of funny. Sweet Roll ended up finally getting me in, and we moved into Applewood. He lived in Applewood. He has since moved. But and then we were at Oak Hills.
Okay. Yeah.
Like all summer together. And my wife went to Creighton, so she knows him, and just connected that way. And I don't know how long, he worked on me for a while.
Yeah.
But before that, Wide Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he was trying to get me to go. And it really wasn't working with my work schedule at that point in time. I was out in the field then and starting at 6.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about pre-runs or anything like that. So I making that work was out.
Yeah.
But I was watching from the sidelines on Twitter, and Tater Tot, I saw him, knew him.
Yeah.
Griswold.
Yeah.
Could see him on there. Of course, Ian, Wide Right. And so I'm watching this. I'm watching for a while. It's like, what is this fight club you guys are doing? What is this?
Yeah.
And so it had me super interested. And I think that's why Twitter X is super important, because I think there is people watching that want to do it, but haven't taken the plunge yet.
Yeah.
So Sweet Roll finally convinced me. And I was pretty ready. And it was the day after Easter, and I think 22. Can't remember what it had to have been 22. And he was on the queue at Octagon.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, perfect.
Gotta go. He's leading. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be great. So I show up and see the guys there, see the flag, kind of know the drill. He's explained it to me, but no Sweet Roll.
Oh,
so yeah, this is awesome.
I think he's done this to a couple guys.
I'm sure it's kind of his MO lately, but I didn't really care at that point in time. It's like I was ready. It didn't matter if he was there or not. And so they were kind of confused, and I had no idea what was going on. So it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
And of course, Ice-T was the site queue at that time. So he kind of just took over. We ran around the building to the backside of the parking lot, and we started doing side straddle hops. And when we were running around, TC was the first guy to say something to me and kind of BSing what my name was, this and that. We started doing side straddle hops, and when we had ran around the building, I was pretty cooked.
Oh yeah.
Like
just
that's how shape I was.
Yeah.
And then we're doing side straddle hops, which seemed to last for an hour.
Yeah.
And I right then and there, I knew this is awesome. I knew exactly. We're in cadence.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I needed.
Nice.
So we run back around to the football field and start doing just random stuff there. And again, now I know, but then I didn't know that. I thought this is just how it was.
Yeah.
And it had to been, it started at 5:30.
Yeah.
It had to been 6:00. Sweet Roll comes ripping in the parking lot. Yeah. I ended up making it in. It was hilarious. So it was a pretty good story. And I'm super grateful for him not to give up on me. He just kept plugging it daily at the pool. I'm like, all right, fine. Fine. Come check it out.
It
was great.
You remember how they landed on the name Low Flow? Is that
because I'm a plumber?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a plumber. And honestly, I was so smoked and playing sports all my life. I kind of know how nicknames come about.
Yeah.
So I was hesitant to give them any ammo.
Right.
So I was just kind of throwing out little tidbits, and I don't know who said it or how they landed on it, but that's just kind of how it
came out.
happened.
Low flow. Is that a plumbing thing?
Low flow? No, I mean it can be. A lot of guys are, and when I tell them my name, they're like, "Do you have low T?" I'm like, "I don't know, like, maybe," but I'm a plumber. Then it's okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
Maybe they think like it's just funny. That's like a non-plumber term for
low flow is usually pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah. I love it, and I guess it's interesting because I remember you were you into music too? I don't know why I remember. I feel like
I love music, but like musically inclined, no. Just whatever sounds good to my ear holes.
Okay. For some reason, I'm remembering you from high school that you maybe had longer hair. And
I did. I had hair maybe down to my chin-ish,
Okay.
chin and shoulders.
Maybe I just thought you were like in a rock band because you were like cool
maybe look like
upperclassman.
it,
Yeah.
look like a complete jackass. But no, not in a band, but I love music.
Yeah.
All of
So
music.
you said a couple times you were ready, and then that it was what you were looking for. Talk us through, what do you mean you were ready? Just like fitness wise?
Yes, I need a change. I think I weighed, because I'm not quite 6 foot. I'm like 5'11" and 3/4.
Yeah.
Something strange like
Yeah.
that. The last time I was measured, but I was up to 213 pounds,
Okay.
and it was my wife's looking at me, and she'd known me for a long time now.
Yeah.
And what's going on there?
Yeah.
It's time to
Yeah.
do something, and so I started seeing this stuff on Twitter at the time, and then I actually started in my basement, just getting on the elliptical for half an hour, 20 minutes, and then knocking out push-ups, and I started seeing progress. And I think I actually got myself down to like 185 just by myself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in Free to Lead, that yo-yo,
Mm-hmm.
and then something happens, or it's summer or something, like winter, it's easy to work out by yourself. And then, you get busy. So I ballooned back up to 200 pounds. And that's when kind of Sweet Roll was coming around. And it was it was time for a change. I needed to change.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I basically got myself
back in there.
Exactly.
So first workout was pretty brutal. Do you remember your second post? Where'd you go?
Again, next day went to Sanitarium.
So you were hooked like right away.
And like once we started doing side straddle hops, I was like, this is awesome.
Nice.
And I can't remember if Slow Pitch was there or not. I have to look at the name of Rama. And I've known him for a long time too. We had an apartment complex we called the Frat House, and we lived together, and it was, you can just use your imagination of that, knowing us back in the day. It was super fun, but not a sustained lifestyle, we'll say.
Right.
So Sanitarium, and I can't remember if I get it mixed up, but someone had dice, and it was burpees. We were running into the circles. If you go to the east of Sanitarium, the neighborhood right there, it's just a bunch of circles right there.
Oh yeah.
So we ran around, hit a circle. Somebody'd roll the dice for some god awful exercise,
Right.
And then run to the next circle and just do it over and over again.
Clever cue.
And I remember running around. So now we've got out of the neighborhood down Centennial. We're coming up 84th Street, and I couldn't like move my legs anymore.
Oh.
And I'm watching all these guys just run away from me, basically.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever, I'll make it there sooner or later.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was super cool. And that's when it hit me, like Fun Dip. Fun Dip came back. All these guys just started coming back, and then just encouraging me and ran with me to get there. Yeah, it was awesome, man. So that's the first time I had learned about picking up the 6.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff just hit me like a ton of bricks. So it's super cool. And then that was Tuesday. Wednesday, went to Danger Zone, and it was a flag pass.
Oh, wow.
So it was Gobbler to Animal House.
Okay.
And I don't know how many guys were there, 50 guys, 60 guys.
Would have been huge. That would have been like the first pass of the,
Yeah, it was huge. So that's where I ended up seeing Tater for the first time in a long time. And this is after the workout. And he's talking to maybe Firewalker or somebody, some Sharpie guys. And they're asking where I live. And I'm kind of like, why? You know, like right off wherever. And he looks over at I think it was Firewalker, and said, oh, he's your problem. So
it's a Sharpie guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I live, what is it? One street north of Harrison. So,
so you're just,
that's like a self-proclaimed gypsy of like just running around all Omaha and Sarpy. It's awesome.
That's centrally located, right?
It's great for F3. It's perfect.
So I guess my question for you is, I'm thinking about, at least from my perspective, you just took off and then sort of ended up on this journey where like you became a runner and just put on a ton of miles. And I guess how did that progression work for you?
Well, so back to that first week, I went to Steel Mill, and then Friday we used to have 7 a.m. meeting. I couldn't go Friday.
Okay.
And it was like, I felt like such a POS.
You're missing out.
Yeah. I was like, what's happening here? So then Saturday was the convergence, or the, I don't know what year it was then, 5 year, 4 year, 5 year.
Yeah, because you're right, because I think the launch of Danger Zone
would be 22.
Yeah.
So what, we just have 7 year, 6 year?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like 3 or 4 or whatever it was. Like my mind's racing. But I had a huge dose of F3 in basically 5 days.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it was
It was
awesome.
huge. Yeah.
So then turning in to answer your question, turning in a runner and going with the miles, I hated running. I still do, but it was something that took mind and body. It does.
Oh,
It
yeah.
takes mind and body, right?
Mhm.
So I don't think I've ever been, I don't know what to call it, exhausted, but still able to keep going for some reason in my own mind. Like, hey, we're going to make it. I can't run anymore, but hey, there's a tree up there.
Mhm.
And then we'll just keep going. And just started. I mean, I was slow and just started. I could see the gains coming.
Yeah.
We're getting faster. I'm kind of getting closer to not being 2 miles out from Farva. Like
Yeah.
I can still see him.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
great.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's
before I
flying
couldn't
up
see him,
there. Yeah.
I have no idea where they went.
Yeah.
This is what he'd come back and get me.
Yeah.
But it just kind of progressed from there. And I started getting addicted to it because I felt
Yeah.
myself getting better and better. And then just started putting on a godly amount of miles
Yeah.
in the morning, in the evenings, whenever I could. Started going. So it was pretty awesome. Still is awesome.
How did were you able to do that without injury? Like, how did you?
No, yes, but so last summer we did Dizzy Goat
Oh, yeah.
and
That's like 30.
36 miles only last year. This year it's 39, but the 33rd mile, I couldn't like put pressure on my feet anymore.
Oh, wow.
So luckily OGK was there. Him and Boss are pretty tight. So luckily he was there and he just had hernia surgery. And I ended up just walking the last 3 miles.
Yeah.
But
What's that?
walking Dizzy Goat is not
Right.
great either.
Right.
But with him, and it was awesome. I had someone to talk to. I was going anyway, but him
Yeah.
being there,
Yeah.
oh man, just lifted the spirits
Good
big
dude.
time. Yeah, it was great.
So then after that, did you have to take some time off or kind of sit down?
No, like an idiot because I'm Polish. Just kept going.
Yeah.
And 6 months later in December, I finally couldn't take it anymore and got into my primary doctor and told him what was going on. He took x-rays on my feet and he told me they're broken. He goes, you have fractures. So he sent the x-rays over to an ortho specialist and I went to see him the day after Christmas. And he's looking at it. He's like, they're not broken, but you definitely have plantar fasciitis.
Oh,
So he shot me up in both my heels with cortisone.
Yeah.
And I like instantly,
it was
oh
healed.
man, I
Yeah.
feel great.
Yeah.
My wife is there at this time because she's pretty furious with me.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "So it's just a Band-Aid, but you can kind of slowly keep going, not so many miles, just kind of start getting back into it. And I have. So it took all of February off, which is easy to do in Omaha.
Yeah. In
It's like
February. Yeah.
-10 every day.
Yeah.
We're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. It's broken feet and hypothermia. But so it took February off and just slowly March started getting back into it. Now we're not like I was, but the feet are still sore, but nothing like it
Yeah.
was. I can feel them getting better.
Okay.
But the kicker is Dizzy Goat's June 21st.
And you're trying to do it again.
Oh, we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
We'll just deal with it after
Yeah.
the 39 miles this year and we're going to do it. So it'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
I feel like plantar fasciitis is kind of a common
Tater has it
thing.
now.
Yeah.
I think Biscuits is dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Biscuits was I saw he sent a video about toga. Toe yoga apparently is like
He was like standing on rocks.
Yeah.
His Tater was telling me about it.
Yeah.
It's like, what an animal.
Yeah.
Him in Backcountry, I
Yeah.
believe, is hurt now too.
Yeah.
And we're all, I believe, that not like early, middle 40s.
Right.
Like, what is going
Is
on?
that and for you, just the cortisone shots?
Like, my right foot, like nothing happened. My left foot is still
Okay.
kind of being silly, but
Yeah. You found anything that helps or you kind of push?
I found $20 inserts on Amazon before I really sent it and got
Okay.
the expensive guys like
Yeah.
let's exercise options. And those have really helped. And an $8 roller that Shroop told me to get maybe a year ago.
And you never did.
No. And then finally
Yeah.
did it and it's
Yeah.
awesome. So I can stand at work and I'm just rolling my foot.
Oh yeah.
It works out great.
Yeah. I turned 40 in December, so I'm kind of like anticipating what
40's okay.
what should I be doing now?
42, 43. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like everything just falls apart.
Yeah, I love it. Well, so you're coming out of this injury. What I guess when you look at fitness, right, physical fitness, you feel like you're still doing the Pogo 40, or you feel like you kind of have found a rhythm and you're at a spot where you want to be, or
No, not quite, not 100%, not like we were half-assing a lot of stuff, modifying.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, it's still because I'm still trying. I don't want to be hurt again.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And then you're missing out. There's FOMO and being hurt. And like when you wake up, I could barely walk to the kitchen.
Right.
So it's like, let's not.
Yeah.
I want to be in shape, but I don't want to be broken
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So trying just to slowly see if I can take it 6 months and then send it and
Yeah.
see what happens.
I'd be curious. Like when I think about not being able to run, I think it would be harder mentally.
Awful.
Like, what was your experience going through that? Taking some time?
It's awful. Even when I miss a workout, I can tell in the morning, like everything is irritating.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Just scratch.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's no
Mhm.
reason. It's because I need to go work out. I want to go work out every morning. I need to just to get that out of your system.
Yeah.
BS with the fellas.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Life is good. There is great human beings out here and they're right in front of your face.
Right.
So life is good.
Yeah.
And then every little thing, someone cuts you off in traffic. The kids are taking forever. They're not putting on their shoes. They put on their shoes. They took them back off. None of that really matters.
Right.
You can deal with it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I think you're spot on. For me, I think I would love to be able to get out to F3 every day, but I've sort of found just with the age of my kids, right? I'm like, okay, there's certain like activities that fill me up a certain amount, right? And so like, if I can get out and post and do a pre-run and a beat down and coffee, that's like full tank, you know?
Exactly.
But if I can't do those things, then I'm like, okay, I at least need to lift or go for a run or
do something. And
that's
where you're better than I am. Cause my day will take, if I don't get it in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, my next opportunity might be 9:00 at night.
Right. And
so
it's over bed.
Yeah. Smoked for the day or mentally just exhausted.
Yeah.
So I need to go out every morning.
What, so talk to me about, like the Murph or like some of these other, like you've obviously got Steel Mill and Mount Olympus and coupon weights stuff.
Hate coupons.
Okay.
They're terrible, but it's something I've tried to do more of this year.
Yeah.
I haven't been back there for a minute, but I acknowledge that I hate it. So guess what? We're going to go do it.
We're going to go do it.
Hit Steel Mill more. Yes, I can get my miles in, not as many, but it's not all about running. And I figured that out by getting hurt.
Yeah.
You need to take care of the rest of your body too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
good learning.
So I love those places.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's so cool. And I love that you came into the group with kind of like these different pockets, right? You live kind of centrally located. You knew guys kind of all throughout because you went to high school at Westside.
Yes.
Then you ended up kind of living over a little further south, or did you grow up over that part of town?
No, I grew up in Prairie Lane. So
okay.
I guess I just now thought of it. I've lived in basically Midtown my entire life, whether it be the middle of Midtown or the south side.
South,
But I had friends. I went to Mary R. Queen for grade school. And I had friends that grew up in that neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew the kind of style of houses neighborhood my wife liked. And she's from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew it'd be perfect. So we had put our house up for sale with no plan. And it sold within 3 days. And we had no house to move into.
Okay.
No other plan. And that's where it dawned on me, this neighborhood, we need to do something quick.
Yeah.
So I literally one Sunday morning just went driving around the neighborhood, saw a sign, and that's basically how it happened. And we caught them by surprise, caught them off guard. They were moving to Hawaii. And so they were kind of being weird about it. And I couldn't figure out why. And I actually got to meet them. They were awesome people, which I know doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And told me the story about how they're moving to Hawaii. So they wanted to make sure the house closed, everything went through before they packed all their stuff.
Oh yeah.
And went across the Pacific.
That makes sense.
So it was kind of a silly story. My life we have some weird stuff going on all the time. It's great though.
I love it. As you come into F3, so then you've got like, you're in a spot where you can kind of venture around. Like,
yeah, I love it.
How did you go about, was it like building new friendships or kind of rekindling old or a little bit of both? Like,
no,
fellowship piece?
Well, even going like the Fancy Feast, I haven't been there for a while too. I need to go see those guys. But Griswold, I've known Griswold for a long time.
How did you know him?
He worked at the gas station at the bottom of our hill in Prairie Lane.
Oh, on 114th.
So yeah, him and a buddy were buddies, and then met him.
I used to buy smokes there. I bet it was him that sold to me.
For sure, had to have been. Come on in.
That's funny.
So I use him I'm using Griswold, and I can see that I'm meeting new people and see who he knows out there and just introducing me to other people. It's great.
Yeah.
They're all good dudes.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
I love it. And you went to high school. Would you have been in Bryce's grade, my oldest brother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Bryce is in my class. And then you were a grade below us, weren't you? Or two. You were in my brother's grade, weren't you?
I was graduated 04.
Oh, is that Dan's? Was Dan in your class?
I don't know. I don't think so.
05.
I was so Brooks, our middle brother, was a grade below you guys.
I remember Brooks.
That was a couple years. So I think
we're a young one. Weren't you?
I was a freshman when you guys were seniors.
Yeah. So you would have been in Dan's class.
Yeah. Okay.
You're in my brother's class. Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's
small
awesome.
world.
Has he come out yet?
No, he's in Kid City.
Oh, does he go down there?
No, there's one right down the street from his house.
He doesn't go.
To go.
Oh.
Still kind of just nudging him every once in a while. Yeah, but he has a lot going on too. So
yeah,
he has no in-law, or my parents aren't down there, and he has 2 daughters. It's just him and him.
Yeah,
dealing with it. So I'll give him a pass for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, what couple more years?
As you think about the fellowship piece, and I was just reading an article this morning about like male loneliness in America, and sort of this, what they were calling deaths of despair. So like suicide, drug overdose, all this stuff, and
alcohol abuse.
Yeah, all of that. I mean, when you think about the fellowship piece, how has that affected you as you've built some of those friendships back?
It's huge, and I can't explain to you exactly why. I don't know. I mean, anybody that's been around me like to talk, like to BS, like to goof around, or just make fun of people. Not trying to be mean. It's just like being dudes, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't take it the wrong way. And if they do, you can slap me. It's fine. But the fellowship part is absolutely huge. And when I started, we were kind of coming out of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was just an excessive amount of drinking for no reason. You don't need to drink 10 beers on a Tuesday night.
Right.
And that's why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have buddies. I have a purpose through work, but I don't have that other side of things. And then you see these guys and start to connect with them a lot more. It tones down the bad part of things and brings up the good part of things. I want to see these guys in the morning. I want to shoot this guy a message. These guys are way better people than I am. I can see that.
Right.
I need to step my own game up and become that good of a person,
right? All boats rise.
You don't need to yell at people in traffic.
Yeah.
you know, like, what would these guys do? I find myself doing that a lot. Hey, what would the guys I hang out with in the morning, or even after that, what would they think of me right now if how I'm acting, or if I would to act this way? That goes through my mind a lot. And I think that comes from the fellowship side.
Yeah.
Getting to know these guys, getting to know good people and how they act, and try and mirror your own life off of that.
I think I do that too, but maybe like almost subconsciously.
Yes.
Right. You're sort of like the standard of the guys that you're hanging out with. And then you're kind of evaluating like, yeah, this isn't something we do, or like this is how we behave, because you kind of identify with the collective group. That's a really cool observation. What, the other space in this kind of fellowship area, we like talk about the concentric. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but like sort of a little bit the model with like your wife and your kids are kind of the center of the relationships that you're 100%. In. Have you seen any impact of F3 on your relationships there?
100%. Because if I don't go work out, my wife can. You need to go for a run.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I just need to recharge the battery.
Yeah.
And I'm always gone before she gets up, and get home when they're kind of getting ready. And if she rolls over and I'm still in bed, I get the question, why don't you go work out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She knows I'm going to be irritating or irritated, or just kind of being an asshole the rest of the day. It's like, you need to go get that out of your system and come home. And when I first started, it was kind of, I need you here to help with the kids. You're off having coffee or whatever.
Right.
You worked out, you're having coffee, come home and help. And now it's turned into, if I get home a little earlier, I'm messing up their routine.
Oh,
100%.
So she's like, you stay at coffee.
So we have figured out the good happy medium, and when I can walk in the door, or she'll tell me the night before, hey, can you get home at this time? I need some help, or I have to leave early or whatever. But my kids are also older. I have 4. an almost 15-year-old, almost 13-year-old, almost 11-year-old, and then a 6-year-old.
Okay.
So there's one liability in there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
he's pretty
Yeah.
self-sufficient, and he has 3 older
Yeah. They can
siblings
also
as well. Yes, and
You
they're
have
great.
mixed boys and girls?
Boy, girl, girl, boy.
Okay.
So my girls are in the middle.
Okay. And have you brought your son out, right?
My oldest
Box out.
Jack, yeah, box out. He's come out a few times. It's great. And then the other day, it was a Sunday night. We were kind of getting ready for Dizzy Goat, and he did a 10K with me just around our block.
Okay.
So I had my vest on. We walk up our hill. We live on a pretty steep hill, and we'd run around and walk. We just did it for an hour, and he was smoking me
Going around.
by the the end of it.
Nice.
So it's pretty awesome to see him start
Yeah.
elevating his
And
fitness.
what a cool example, right? Because I think, in fitness, right? Obviously, like we're trying to just be healthy so we can live longer.
Yes,
be around. But it's just cool.
We're
to
not going to be
see.
pro athletes.
Yeah,
anymore. That ship is sailed.
Yeah, but it's cool to see like a young kid, getting after it with his dad.
It's awesome,
right? Like I'd be curious, like has that impacted your relationship there?
Yes, 100%. But I didn't look at it that way at first because I'm pretty bad about it, and I need to look at myself in a little better light.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to see the other guys that I'm trying to mirror
Oh, sure.
myself off of. Look at all these guys out here getting after it.
Yeah.
And they're savages.
Yeah.
There's the guys that are out of shape, getting into shape. There's all sorts of walks of life right there, but they're all going towards one goal, right? Just to be better.
Yeah.
Just to be better today. And we'll start at 0 tomorrow, and we'll try it again. That's what I wanted him to see. And it's starting to click with him.
That's cool.
Especially he's going into high school. He's had sports camps all week. Just started right when he ended school. He basically picked
right
up
into it.
Yeah. And I could see I coached their 8th grade boys soccer team, just the AmeriQueen.
Yeah.
It's fun, but trying to get them ready for high school, right?
Yeah.
And so the tomfoolery is still 14-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
At an all-time high.
Yeah.
But still trying to wriggle them in. But back to him, the other day, I saw him, he leveled up. It was a new guy. Me and the assistant coach were watching, and it was like, who's
cool.
this guy running around right now? So
kind of leads a
talk
little
about
bit, and or just
and leading by example.
Oh, interesting.
Just being a maniac out in the field. So
that's cool.
It's super cool. And I think F3 had something to do with it, seeing all these guys at the crack of dawn getting after it.
Right. Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, there's something so powerful about that. And just thinking about, I don't know what your relationship was like with your dad, but like, we would always do sport, batting practice or do stuff with our dad. And I think just when you're a young boy, you're trying to learn, like that transitional time between middle school, high school kind of stuff. And you have no clue, right? So your options are either I do what my friends are doing, or I have somebody show me a better way.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I have a great relationship with my dad, but he was working a lot.
Yeah.
He's a plumber too.
Okay.
And he was working a lot, and I could see that it was for our benefit. He's got to take care of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my mom worked too. They're just blue collar family.
Yeah.
I know hard work through those two.
Yeah.
And he was getting older, and kind of we'd throw the ball, and then all of a sudden his elbow would go out. Or something.
Yeah.
It's like, right, here we go. But I was lucky. I kind of had a shield lock growing up without knowing what a shield lock was.
Yeah.
With Ryan Pick.
Oh yeah.
Mike Blythe.
Yeah.
And Matt Heater.
Yeah.
So we all lived within a couple blocks.
Those guys aren't coming out.
I've tried to get Plyce does. He's Mile High.
Oh, okay.
He will when he comes in town. He lives in Denver.
Okay.
So Mile High.
But Pick should be coming out
lazy
all the time.
I'll bust his chops. Just lazy, but try not to push it, because sometimes if you push too hard,
then
you just push them away.
They don't even want to talk to you outside.
No. That's all this guy's going to talk about. You're real annoying, and I get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he doesn't do it. And he lives right by Halleck.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Just come Thursday.
Right.
You don't have to run either.
Right.
You can just do
right.
But I can't get him to do it.
I was on a softball team with him for the longest time. Yeah. Yeah. It was
like
an
old man league, beer league.
It was mostly a drinking thing. Like I think we played softball. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But
We're great guys, but we all lived within a couple blocks of each other. So that was my constantly doing whatever with those guys.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah. It'd be cool to reconnect someday. What you mentioned shield lock. Have you had a chance to kind of formulate?
Yes, we have one with it's me, Farva, Shroot, Razzle, Boss Hog, and Animal House.
Okay.
So, and it's more of a shield lock light.
Yeah.
It's more razzing. Hey, where were you this morning? What were you doing?
Why didn't you post?
So that accountability is still there, and those guys are great. So it's a good group to get into. You
ever give Farva a hard time about just being the beast that he is? Sometimes I'm like, how does he do? He's running 6-minute miles.
I don't know how he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I have no idea. He's made of something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like Gumby. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really razz him too much, though. I will give him hell when he's like cranky in the morning sometimes or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I mean, I'm trying to mirror myself off of this.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to make fun of him. Maybe a little bit.
He can't be cranky now because he's basically retired, right? I mean,
he doesn't do anything.
He has a part-time.
Search the internet.
Yeah.
Hangs out and works out. Yeah. Life is good, right?
Yeah, I love it. Are you or someone you know in the market to buy a new home? Well, if so, check out Major Team Mortgage. They specialize in home purchase and refinance home loans. Their mission is to purposely empower people to experience their good life through building wealth with real estate. You know, showing up in the gloom is no different than showing up for a conversation around your future of building wealth with real estate. Join the action economy and get in the game with Sasquatch. Text or call John at 402-212-0149 to schedule a time today. Individual NMLS number 1393750. Company NMLS number 2478164. Equal housing lender. Well, I want to get your thoughts on the kind of faith piece, right? So fitness, fellowship, faith. When we talk about faith, a lot of times there's like almost two different parts, right? There's sort of like the spiritual side, and then there's like the volunteer community service side. But curious, I would love to hear your journey, right? Because you grew up sort of in
I went to a Catholic grade school.
Yeah, talk us through that.
And it's hard for me. Faith is coming back to me. I steered away from it for a while. I lost my sister when I was 15.
Oh, wow.
So she was diagnosed with cancer in January of 97. She passed away on Father's Day, June of 97.
Oh, wow.
So that flipped everything upside down.
Yeah.
My parents, I didn't have my parents, and rightfully so. I don't blame them at all from that like 6 months right there, because they're trying to figure out with her, and that just a brutal, you don't want any parent to go through that. Right.
Yeah.
So, and that scarred my mom really bad, and my dad, rightfully so, just like kind of turned their back on God because they felt like he did.
Yeah.
So we went from going to church every Saturday night to basically being non-existent.
Yeah.
And then now with my kids go to Mary Queen too.
Yeah. Starting
to get back into it, but it's still, that's something I need to definitely work on.
Yeah.
And we go my wife calls me Catholic Light,
Yes.
It's like Easter, Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe every couple months, but it's still been doing a terrible job. And it's still, faith is definitely still there. I still watch myself, and I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. I know he's watching down. It's not like I totally abandoned the whole faith thing, but it just kind of still need to work on it. I wouldn't say that big time.
I would say that is the most common, like, sort of pathway that we hear from guys, right? Some sort of like, I grew up in a church religious environment, and then most of the time it's like I went to college and I started partying, and then I straight away
that too.
And now we're kind of coming back. But man, I didn't know that about your sister. Were you guys close?
No. So
was she a lot younger or older?
Older. She was 18. I was 15. And then my brother would have been, he's 4 or 5 years younger than me. Yeah. So he was young too, real young. So again, that's like a weird time of life too. I'm 15. I'm turning 16 in July. That's where my OG shield lock, we'll call like that. I had them.
Yeah.
And it was every day. Ran around with pick lights and heater.
Yeah.
And they knew, but they wouldn't prod at it, and they made life normal unless I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
So those guys are huge in my life, and still are. We still all talk all the time.
Yeah.
Even though Plyce is in Denver, I still see Heater and Pick quite often, and we get together on Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
And when Plyce comes back in town,
cool.
It gets off the rails sometimes, but it's super fun, and it's just on sport.
Yeah, nice.
It's great.
That's awesome. So thinking about, just the impact that had on your faith growing up, and now where you're at today, I would be curious, like, how have you processed that? Because I think a lot of guys maybe get stuck in like, well, I haven't been doing it, so I'm gonna continue to not do it. But I hear you sort of saying like you feel that kind of
Well,
desire or pull maybe back to
and that's having my kids there
yeah. Okay.
and seeing them going to church, talking about God, seeing my 6-year-old,
Yeah.
like what you can tell he learned about. I forgot what he learned something at school, and it's just us at the table. One kid's talking about something, and I just hear him say off inside, "He has risen."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, where'd you learn that
Yeah,
today?
yeah.
What were you guys talking about today?
Yeah.
Just little tidbits like that. And it's kind of just pulling me back in just through them.
That's cool.
Mhm.
I love that. I think F3 is like this perfect vehicle for guys to sort of regain that comfort in that space. I think
Mhm.
a lot of churches don't, at least in my experience, aren't built necessarily to be super welcoming, right? As you're like trying to like
No, I
get
feel that
back
too.
into it, there's
Yes.
sort of like a
And
like where you been, there's just a lot of guilt and shame maybe with trying to get back
right.
into that.
And I mean, we kind of do that with F3 too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey man, I'm sick
Yeah.
for a while. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Why?
That's more friendly, right?
Yes, 100%.
Hopefully.
And that's another drawback. It's like these little ticks I see, or people that are supposed to be these big, I'm a person of God, yada yada, but I've seen what you do in real life,
Yeah.
and that is not
Right.
a person of God, at least not to me in my
Not
perception,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's my mind's like, okay, you're gonna go to confession and
Yeah.
it's all is forgiven, and then the next day you can be an ass again. It's like
Right.
that's not how it works.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a tick, right? A
Yeah.
drawback,
Yeah.
where it's me personally maybe making excuses
Yeah.
or just seeing the glass half empty instead of half full.
Yeah.
But my kids being there are definitely helping me. And my oldest going to Mount Michael.
Yeah.
So another
Super
Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
So it
Is
helps
he
a lot.
gonna live there on campus or you
No, no, it's expensive.
to live that well, just to go there, I'm
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
It's a Honda Civic to live.
Oh yeah.
Just to
to
live
go
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, then you get to pay for
Another yeah.
but it's going to be perfect for him. I'm super excited for him to go there. Then hopefully I want him to live there as junior, senior year.
Okay.
And that'll hopefully get him prep for college.
Yeah.
We're not sending you out to the dorms.
Right.
You can live on
Yeah.
your own for the first time ever.
I know what that's
Good
like.
luck,
Yeah.
little buddy. Yeah, I know what that's like too. And
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah.
So got some
Um
wrong paths.
yeah.
Real quick.
I would be curious as you think about like the community service side of things with the third F, right? We got so much going on after I'm on it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I have 4 kids, and I know that's not an excuse, but there is always something going on. Or I have guys calling me to fix their plumbing or whatever, and it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
I might be able to get over there in 2 weeks at 9:00 on a Tuesday night or something
Right.
weird like
Yeah.
that. So the community service, I haven't done enough. I need to do more, especially through F3. I need to give back what I was given. I need to give something back.
Yeah.
But even like tomorrow morning, I'm going to go pick up those board members, board members, take them down to the pit.
That's service.
Hopefully I could get them down to the airport, but I have too much going on. I couldn't do that. But just try and do little things like that.
Yeah.
Something to try and be of some help to somebody.
Yeah. How often do you have guys reach out looking for help? Yeah.
A lot. And get my number off of PaxNet. I don't get on Slack, but every so often I forget about it. I get on Slack and I missed all these messages to me. I'm like, oh my God. So if you need something, get my number and I'll get back to you and hopefully get it fixed or send you in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. It's so funny. We had some HVAC issues at our house and just couldn't find a good company. And then I was running with Farva complaining about it. And he's like, well, have you reached out to Flying V? And I'm like,
cousin?
No, I haven't.
I have no idea.
Reached out to Flying V and like, man, just the customer service. And they fixed what we had going on. And it was I was like, just kicking myself. We almost, it would be great to have like
the F3 net, right?
Professional services or something on your profile, right? I could search for whatever.
It could be dangerous at the same time too, because professional, yes, but getting back to you and getting the time scheduled, not professional.
Is it better if somebody goes through your work to schedule something or not really?
Well, my company, no, because we're geared more heavy industrial hospitals.
Oh, okay.
So that's our shop.
Yeah.
But there are other shops where guys can call me and I'll get you in the right
But you can
direction.
do residential stuff.
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes.
Do you, oh gosh, who am I thinking of?
Simple stuff.
James,
Don't have like big tools anymore.
James O'Doherty. Do you remember that name? Abel Plumbing?
That's James?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Really?
That was his dad. Yeah. Like his dad and uncle's company. And then I
Really?
think he's running that.
Took it over?
Yeah. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was
That's
always,
awesome.
He was the kid in our neighborhood always blowing stuff up with fireworks.
Typical plumber stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, so the other thing we'd like to talk to guys about is leadership, right? So our mission is to plant, grow, serve small workout groups, right? For invigoration, male community leadership. We try to give guys opportunities to lead. And so obviously your VQ is one of those things. And then obviously your time as a site Q, but talk us through, like, I would love to hear your perspective on the leadership stuff. And maybe if F3 helped equip you to be a better leader at work, at home, whatever.
Oh, 100%. I know I say that a lot. 100%.
100%.
It's been saying that.
You're all in.
It has.
Yeah.
We're all in.
Yeah.
But, so I'm a plumber. I worked out in the field for 10 years and I ran work. I was a foreman. So I had that leadership, but I was still young. I was a young guy leading men and older men, rusty older men that have been around for a while, know what they're doing. Why would they listen to me?
Right.
But so it's kind of, I had to go prove myself.
Yeah.
That, hey, I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We'll get this figured out, and leaned on them a lot to figure out what to do. So then that was before F3, getting into F3 and seeing my examples, which in my mind, I'm just using these guys as examples. It totally opened different doors.
Interesting.
Like, oh, I was going about it the wrong way. Hey, I was being a complete jerk.
Yeah.
Why? For no reason. So it has helped me. I can't really explain why or how. I can just see it in my own mind. Like, you went right, simple terms. You went right. I should have been going left.
Sure.
And that F3 has totally helped me do that.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Stay calm. Cool. Keep it simple.
You know, there's so many things that they almost like happen subconsciously, right? Just by like being around the guys and like seeing how they behave in certain situations. And then, you get your VQ, and I always think it's so funny to me.
Which Swiper just conned me into doing out of nowhere.
Yeah. Where'd you do your VQ?
Sanitarium.
Oh, okay.
And Swiper was the site Q there.
Nice.
Hey man, you're doing your VQ here. I was like, well, okay.
Did everything go okay, or how did it
I think so. Yeah.
As far as you remember.
Right. And I'm not cheated, but I was doing research on the F3 Nation website. So I knew, hey, your COT should be about what brought you out to F3 and what keeps you here. So that's why I kind of gave it back to the fellas. Like, what brought me out is because I was a fat POS, and now
I met you guys.
Yeah, and you guys are awesome, and I'll keep hanging out with you. Hopefully you want to do the same thing. So it's great.
That's awesome. What so then talk us through Catamount and getting the chance to lead there.
So I don't know what drew me down there, because I didn't go to high school there. I went to West Side.
No.
Arva definitely did. Like, following him, because he was my example of how are you going to get better. This guy is a machine. I don't know how. So I need to be with him,
Yeah.
And so that just kept me going. Tuesday, I know where I'm going. We're running Bernadette.
Yeah.
We're flying.
But not on a unicorn cat shirt, right? And
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And just doing hard stuff. And so that was just day in and day out. Then he asked me one day if I wanted the flag, and I hadn't really thought about it. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for Farva, and I knew that place was, as you heard, it's
special.
It's very special to him. So it's like, try and keep that thing going. And I brought maybe the little bit of leadership to there. I started doing on-site coffee.
Oh,
because the coffee spot was junk.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a pain to get through.
Yeah.
Or get to. And I kind of knew of on-site coffee being at Khakis, and I don't know if there's another one. I couldn't remember. But I was like, this is what I can bring to the table. On-site coffee.
I love it.
And then passing to Uncle Jesse, he's continued. I gave him all the stuff.
Yeah.
You want it? I asked him first. You don't have to, but and he took it.
Nice.
He's running with it.
How does as a site Q that does on-site coffee, just for guys that maybe don't realize, how does that impact your routine, or do you have it set up so that you can, like, do you brew it? I don't know. How does that work?
I brew it the night before, so right before bed.
Okay.
You're getting about 10 o'clock. I'll fire up the the percolator.
Okay.
And then depends how much you're making. You're looking at like an hour.
Yeah.
And then go fill up the thermoses, throw them in the car. Or during the winter, I'd bring them inside and put them on the registers
Oh yeah.
at my house. Just
Keep it warm. Yeah.
If it worked or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Polish logic. It's
Yeah.
it checks out. Right?
Work.
It's gotta work.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it. And a burden, no, it's kind of like mowing the grass where you're like, I don't want to do this. And then you got to do it and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's
no, everybody's there enjoying the coffee.
What were we complaining about? Nothing, or in my mind complaining. Yeah. And then you see everybody loves it. On-site coffee. You get done with your workout and walk right over to the suburban cafe, the Chevy Suburban Cafe. And here we go.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I was talking to some
more guys stick around.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's what you hear, right? Because it's just, for whatever reason, once I get in my car and I start driving, and then that's what you're like, look at the watch. You're like, I'm just dead man. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. If it's on site, you're like,
or if you only have 5 minutes, here, grab a cup to go, say hi, see you later, maybe again for 10.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I love it. I'd be curious, like, as you think about being a site Q, anything that you picked up other than on-site coffee, which I think is a great opportunity, but any other advice or like just encouragement for guys that you would offer that are maybe thinking about being a site Q or maybe are currently site Qs?
Yeah, because you're committing to showing up at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And me knowing that you want to do it or you need to do it, you probably need to do it. Mm-hmm. At least once a week, right? Yeah. One workout a week. Say hi to the fellas. Yeah. Burn off any excess hate or energy, whatever you got.
Right.
And you're there for that week. And it's huge. And those guys are depending on you. There's nothing like having someone else depending on you to be there to make you get up and go.
Right.
If it was just me, I should go work out today. I haven't told anybody I'd meet him there or anything. Maybe you roll back over. Yeah. Maybe you're going back to sleep. Yeah. Like, I'm tired, I'm hurting. Yeah. But okay, I told this guy I was going to be there.
So I gotta be there. Yeah.
Hey, you got the flag and you're responsible for coffee. Well, guess what? Get up. You're going. I don't care if it's zero degrees or your leg's broken. You're going. Sorry about it. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So I'd say do it.
Any challenges being a site Q or anything that maybe was sort of different than you thought it was going to be?
No, I don't think so. The weird part is when you have to go out of town or something, you're not going to be there.
Oh yeah. And you got to have somebody else
like the guilt.
Yeah.
Luckily I have Farva.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good hands. Yeah. I'm watching his kid anyway. So
right. It doesn't matter. Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's a good thing, but the guilt that comes with it, like, oh man, I know I'm on vacation or on a trip. I should be there. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how that,
like, checking in, like, how'd it go this morning? Yeah,
exactly.
I've totally been there.
Where's the name around? Well, let's get that posted.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think there's zero downside to it.
Yeah.
There really isn't. It feels like a burden, but it might seem like a burden, I should say, but it's not. Great.
Yeah.
And you have the flag. You're big time.
Right. Yeah.
It's awesome.
You've made it. Yeah.
Yes.
What are you doing now? Now that you've handed the flag, are you going to do other stuff within F3 or leading other places, or
I'm just trying
you're
to
professional chauffeur now?
That too.
Yeah.
Great. My super duper station wagon. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. No, I don't know. I have no direction really. Just the only motto is just don't quit.
Yeah.
I don't have huge goals or anything like that. I don't like to out goal myself. Mm-hmm. Just the only goal I have is just don't quit.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Two words. Don't quit.
Yeah.
We go every day. Sometimes we have a plan. Sometimes we don't have a plan. They're both awesome.
Yeah.
I love when a Q will, and mine always fall apart, but not mine. Like when it's chaos, like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Chaos is great.
Guys just figure it out. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just some dudes work it out. It doesn't have to be, we're not going to dock your pay.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. Nobody's losing any money.
It makes it fun. It's funny.
Khakis might yell at you, but other than,
I like to prod him too in a run, and I'm pretty sure he hates to talk in the middle of running, and I try and just, hey man, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I love it.
He hasn't beat me up yet.
It's so funny because F3 in so many ways, like, uses like chaos as in a workout setting as like this
controlled chaos. Basically.
Yeah. It's like this vehicle to teach us how to deal with the chaos that is just life, right? Like everyday life.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Chaos is okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And nothing's going to go perfect. Nothing is ever perfect.
Yeah.
So just roll with the punches. Like wrestling. You got a plan. that plan didn't work out too well. So you just,
now you're on your back. You got to,
we're just going to figure it out. That's it.
Heck yeah. I love it. It's, it's so cool to me just hearing, like, kind of knowing you, from a distance a little bit in high school and then reconnecting and hearing your
Super
story.
terrible example, having a senior as me, and you're a fresh, terrible example.
But now here you are, right? This amazing leader. You're leading your family well. Like
so are you.
Look
at us.
Yeah, look at us now, right? Yeah. But I guess I would be curious. Like, is there anything that, maybe just throughout life, just thinking, not just F3, but anything that we maybe haven't covered that you're like, if guys are listening, they got to know this, or this was like a key moment in my life that really taught me something special. Anything in that space that you want to make sure get off your chest?
No, I'm kind of a boring individual, but
That's
the
good.
key moment in my life was like deciding to go check out the workout.
Yeah.
And I was ready. So it's kind of not fair, but I was just watching from the sidelines, watch from the window, and then finally decided to do it. Was huge it totally changed my life in a 180 degree. Instead of drinking beer, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Maybe only need one beer.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't, I need water.
Right. Yeah.
And some sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that mentality instead of like, hey, we're getting off of work. I got to get the kids somewhere, yada, yada, get them to bed. And then I can have beers. Like everything was like centered on that.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I got to drop my kid off at a sports thing. And I'm going to sit in my car and scroll on my phone. No, if they're in the gym, and I tell them that if you're in the gym doing work, I'm outside running too.
Yeah.
And F3 is totally changed my life in that way. It's like, instead of sitting on your butt, scrolling your phone, hey, it's nice out.
Go do something.
Go for a run. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I love that. That's really cool. Well, what where we kind of like to land with guys is just current state, right? You kind of were mentioning, right? Your kids are busy, family's busy. Where do you currently need prayer, support, encouragement when we see out there anything we should kind of nudge you on or encourage you on?
I mean, I appreciate the prayers, but just not to quit.
Yeah, just don't quit.
Don't quit at life.
Yeah.
Don't quit working out.
Yeah.
Just don't quit.
Heck yeah.
I'm good, man.
Keep
I'm
it
happy.
simple. Yeah,
I'm happy.
I love it.
Always keep this
This
simple.
This has been awesome. Well, we'll do a little
Love talking to you, man.
Little Namo to end us out. Brandon Fleehardy, 39, The Plague.
The plague. And I am Brandon Vale, 43, Low Flow.
Low Flow. Plug it.
Ooh,
right? That's what we do. Plug it.
It.
I forgot to mention at the beginning, you have probably one of the best hospital names, right? Brandon is just
It's a good. You can't compete with
I've never met a bad guy named
We need to get you in the Brandon beatdown.
Oh,
we throw them every once in a while.
Man.
You're coming to the next one. Yeah, we'll get you on the thread.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Appreciate you, man.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.